Hi.
I'm going to double check we're actually live because this isn't actually.
It's not showing up. Although it says 3 people watching now. Okay, now it's showing.
Oh. A little bit of an echo. Okay, I don't know how to do the live. Okay, the chat should show up here if people are here. If you're here, say hi so we know you are in the comments stuff. I don't know how to see it on here. But yay. We are live. Mm-hmm. Oh, 12 people are watching now. Hello, everybody.
Yay, hi. Hi, Caitlin. Hello, everyone.
How do you know who's on here?
Oh, I'm looking at the YouTube because the StreamYard one doesn't work.
Oh, now it is.
Oh. Yeah, I don't see it.
4 people have said hi.
You have to switch to live comments, please.
Oh, okay.
5 people have said hi. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining. Normally we start off by talking about what we're currently reading.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to start before we talk about the book?
Well, I'm reading Look the Part by Julie Ann, and I freaking love it. This is for contemporary-thon, kind of, but yeah.
What is that
Single
about?
parent. The hero has a son with autism. He's a widow. He kind of sort of killed his wife in a car accident. So it's like very emotional, but at the same time really funny. The characters have a good sense of humor. I love it.
I'm reading The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty, and it's so good. Oh my god, I'm in love with it. It's an adult, like, high fantasy series. It's an Own Voices, like, Muslim high fantasy series, and it's so good. It's about, like, genies, or, like, jinn. It's so good.
Yeah, I think I have book 2.
I do too, and, like, I'm just, like, that's, like, what made me get it, because I got an arc of it when I worked at the bookstore. And that's
Does it have romance?
Hmm?
Does it have some romance?
It does. And, like, it has, like, a ship that, like, makes me really nervous. Because it's, like, so, like, because, like, things are starting to, like, unravel right now. And I'm just, like, oh my, like, I don't know what's happening. But, like, it's so, like, it's kind of like a slow burn. Like, and you, like, don't know if it's going to go anywhere. But, like, there's, like, one scene in a cave. And it's, like, very scary. And I'm very here for it.
I don't think I've heard of that one.
It's really good.
I'm looking it up right now, so that's fine.
I highly recommend.
Interesting. I just finished today Serenading Heartbreak by Ella Field. Sarah, did you finish it yet?
Oh.
Did you read it?
I have an arc. I'm, like, reading it, and, like, whenever, like, one book gets intense, like, I'm jumping, like, in between both.
It was good, but, like, really frustrating, but good because it's a love triangle. So she's, like, in love with her brother's best friend who's in their band, and then they leave to go tour, and he, like, cuts off communication. So then she goes and falls in love with someone else, and then he comes back. She doesn't know who she loves more.
I just love Ella, and her books are just so good.
Yeah.
I feel like I should read it.
You have to like love triangles to like it, because if you don't like love triangles, you're gonna hate it, and it's gonna bother you.
I mean, I don't hate them, but it's just like a few that have been really good.
Yeah, I liked it because I honestly didn't know who she was gonna pick.
Yeah, I like those kind of love triangles.
Yeah, because I liked both of them. I liked one more than the other, but it was good.
Read it, Lacey.
And Lacey, did you read Jay Daniels' new book yet?
No, I haven't.
I finished that yesterday.
I saw you gave it 4 stars.
I did. It was cute.
But not amazing?
No, it was really long. It was almost...
Oh. Yeah, these books are kind of long.
Yeah. I liked it. I just think, like, they always have to have a conflict, and the conflict they chose to have when they first decided to get together was annoying. That's all I can say. It was, like, their own fault.
Are the kids cute?
They're adorable. I love them.
Yay.
There's 8-year-old twins and 2-year-old.
Aww.
Very cute. Yeah. And it kind of, did you guys ever, let me answer that. Spelling this wrong. What was I going to say? Oh, did you ever read The Gravity of Us by Brittany C. Cherry?
Not yet.
Is that the 3rd one?
Yeah.
The 4th one.
Oh, no. The one that you love?
What? Yeah, the one I love, yes. So that one, she helps him raise his kid, and then Down Too Deep, she helps him raise his kid. So it kind of reminded me of it. That's why.
I read the first 2 books. Well, I listened to the first 2 books in audio. First one was good, but I knew that if I read it, I wouldn't like it.
Yeah.
The second one, I had to stop the audiobook because it was just, I was hating these characters.
I haven't read the second one. I skipped from 1 to 4.
Probably for the best.
I've heard 4 is the best, so that's why I read 4.
Yeah.
It's amazing. 1 was okay. I think they just like annoyed me because they were using each other, and that was the whole point of the book. So, yeah. Okay, well, we can start about The First Girl Child by Harmon. I think it's funny though that our first book for our book club barely had any.
I know. I was feeling so bad when I started reading.
He's 12 now.
Yeah.
Now he's 14. Now he's 16, but she's still like 8. So I don't know where this is going.
It's very much like a coming of age kind of romance.
Yes.
And I was like very much like, I like it. Like it was just like such a different kind of fantasy. Like
it was.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I liked it that it dealt with like a bunch of different relationships.
Yeah. So we get all these different point of views.
Yeah. And like I kind of liked seeing them like grow up together and like how like their relationship develops like that and like through like other people's eyes too.
Mm-hmm.
So like it was just interesting. It was like definitely one of the most unique fantasies I've read.
Yeah. It was like Norse mythology, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's based on some truth, but then that god that they were
their own like their own
kind of lock.
Which I thought was pretty cool too, because then you're like you can like change some things and like kind of like make mythology kind of like more your own. You're not like chained to like what's been told.
Yeah. Do you guys were reminded of the Mortal Instruments at all while you were reading this with the runes that they would draw?
No, I was reminded of the kind of incest part.
No, that too. Yes, that.
Yeah.
I was like, they're totally gonna think that they're step siblings, not siblings. They think that they're actually related, and there's gonna be all this angst, and they're gonna get mad at each other, and then they're gonna figure out they're not actually related, just like Mortal Instruments.
I didn't even think of the runes.
I didn't think
that you said it.
Yeah, the runes they would like draw it on themselves though in Mortal Instruments, and this one they would use their blood and like draw it.
I feel like I've read some other fantasies where they've done something similar. So like,
I don't know where runes came from. Is that like?
I think
something because they both use it like similar ways.
Yeah.
I mean, it dates back to like probably Greek. I don't want to say Greek mythology because I don't want to be wrong because my brain's tired and it's not really working. But I mean, they've been around forever. So I mean,
I never heard of them until Mortal Instruments because I don't follow mythology. So
I'm a huge mythology nerd. So like, I can't think straight right now. But I like thought like that. I kind of was reminded of like the incest too. But then I kind of like how like it didn't drag on. Like it wasn't like
it was pretty over pretty fast.
Yeah,
we knew they weren't related the whole time. Which
that's true.
You didn't know.
Yeah.
So you kind of.
My heart still hurts for that.
Yeah. Sorry if we're spoiling it. I hope you guys all know about that by now. It's kind of been like over 10 years since that series is out. But that was the first thing I said. Like when he took the child as his own, I was like, oh my gosh, they're totally going to think that they're related.
Yeah.
Later on, and it's going to get all sad and angsty. So, yeah. Which that king was awful. And it made me so mad when they made him king.
Oh, yeah.
It's not his. And I got so
Should have listened to the.
But they couldn't have made a 4-year-old. How old was he?
He was
7. Yeah, that's
they
true.
couldn't make a 7-year-old a king, but they had before, I guess. But.
They totally could have, but I think it was just interesting to see like how he did become king. Like he kind of kidnapped a baby and killed the family, and was like, "This is mine now." And he thought like, but like I want to know like why didn't he like double check to make sure like she like Ghost was dead?
I don't know. Didn't he kind of know? I think that they knew she wasn't there, but they couldn't find her.
Did they? I don't remember.
I don't think so.
But like, to find, like see her when like in the temple, because like he like got like he like was startled and like
I think he just assumed she died in that fire.
I don't know. If I was him, I would have been like, "Give me proof. Tell me you saw her before you like lit the match."
Yeah,
but Not like I said.
Well, though. I forget what he said, but like he made up this whole elaborate story just to get that guy to kill that family.
Oh my god, he was so interesting. Like,
yeah,
he's a horrible person, but like I was so like
he's very smart.
Yeah, I'm so interested in like how you like your how you're thinking of this all through and everything. Like I was so like, because it's like he just wants power.
Yeah,
and like I want to know if like he like killed his wife. Was that ever said? Because I don't remember.
She died in childbirth.
Yeah.
But, like, I thought like, did she?
Did it?
I don't know. Her.
She had like 6 miscarriages though. That's gotta be stressful on the body.
Yeah. But like, they're just kind of like, because it was hinted at a couple of times. Like he's like, why didn't she die too? So I was like, did you?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure he didn't really care that she died.
The widow wasn't there, was she? Because like she knew.
When the girl child was born, when he threw that maid down the stairs
and stepped on her neck.
Yeah. It was. I had to remember this was fantasy though because Bear, is that his name? Bear.
Yeah.
He was like picking up rocks when he was like 2. Like.
Oh yeah.
He was
very like Hercules kind of guy.
Yeah. So that was interesting, and I liked how protective he was of her. Like, that was cute. So it didn't creep me out that like they knew each other since she was born, and they were supposed to like fall in love.
Well, he was still a kid too. Like he was.
But even when he was like 16 and she was 9, like it was never creepy.
No.
Yeah, he was like her protector that whole time. And then that whole separation.
Yeah. But like she felt like she always loved him too, which was so cute.
It's true.
She wanted him to come back. He was gone for a long time.
Wow. How long? Like 5, 6?
It was until he was like in his 20s, wasn't it?
He was 23.
Okay.
I think. Or 24? Somewhere around there.
She had to be old enough
to
have a romance.
Because I think she turned 17.
Yeah. I just liked it too how like his uncle was like telling her like you have to marry like a king or whatever, and she's like, I don't want a king. Like I'm not a king. Like and she was just so like fresh as like a character.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted more of the girls.
Yeah.
Because we get Bear's point of view during their separation, and we get to see all the girls growing up and learning everything.
Yeah.
And they didn't leave, right? They were like supposed to all leave together during that whole.
I'm not sure what their purpose was.
I don't know.
It was like the king's like weird like way of controlling them.
Yeah.
I liked it like how though in the end like they kind of became like what were they called? The keepers?
Yeah, they became the keepers when they all. Yeah.
It's kind of like a new generation of like voices and everything.
And I still don't get like you have to have like magic blood to be able to use the runes, right?
Yeah.
But like you couldn't do magic. You were just like special.
Well, the runes are the magic. Like that's how.
Right, but only people with a special blood can do the magic.
Yeah. So like I don't want to like call them like magicians, but like kind of like how like only like magicians can use like magic and like other like fantasy worlds. Like if they were like god blessed or whatever.
Like Harry Potter, if you're born.
Yeah, it's probably some lineage thing.
Yeah, kind of like they're like demigods, but like from Norse mythology instead of Greek mythology.
Yeah, because Bear could do it, and then Bear's mom could do it.
Yeah. Okay.
And then her uncle or his uncle had it, but like he did it for like prayer and everything.
Yes, as a keeper. I liked his uncle a lot. I'm sad he had to die.
Him and Ghost.
Yes.
So sweet.
And then the end where it said he would never leave him, and he like
the wolf.
Yeah. He's always watching over you.
So sweet.
That was really sweet.
What did you think of the names? How every kingdom, like the people in that kingdom have the same letter.
Letter.
Yeah.
I like by a certain point, I just skipped over their names. So I didn't know who was who.
I mean, it made it easier to keep track of who was from who.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it got a little much.
Yes.
I mean, I liked it because, like, I thought it was interesting. I also liked it how, like, they all, like, kind of start with, like, the names of, like, their clans almost. Like,
Mhm.
Dolphins. I liked that. But, like, kind of just, like, had to, like, come up with tricks to remember who was who.
Yeah. I did like, though, how then, like, Bear was able to possibly be king because he was from that clan, but since his mom was from the other clan, he could go be the leader of that one, and they were next in line to be king anyway.
Mhm.
So that's how he was
Perfect
king. That one
timing.
guy, like, prophesized that.
Like,
Yeah.
he was going to be king either way, basically.
Yeah. So there was a way that he was king, even though it seemed like there wasn't. I like that.
The king tried to, like, turn him to, like, basically nothing. Be like, no, he's just a temple boy.
But what did the king think happened to his son?
I don't think he didn't care.
Yeah.
He probably didn't think it survived. Like,
But, like, you think, like, with all of his children dying,
but he was a
not
bastard. He was, like, for lack of a better word, he was a bastard. So, like,
yeah,
couldn't have been, like, any use to him. Because then he would have had to, like, claim him, and then that would have caused, like, an uproar with his wife. And, for, like, he didn't like her, but for all intents and purposes, like, he had to, like, she was the queen. So
yeah.
it wasn't, like...
I feel like he could have spun it, though, like, in his favor.
He probably could have, but, like,
Mhm.
he, like, probably, like, because he figured it out early on, I think. And so, like, he probably, like, it was like his uncle said, like, he was jealous of Bear and his power and everything because, like, he wanted to be the most powerful, and, like, it was actually his son who had...
I thought he didn't know, though, for a while.
I think he, like, pieced it together because, like, he was always, like, kind of, like, off-putted by the boy. Like, not only just because, like, of, like, who he was, but, like, because he was gonna, like, take the throne. Like, that's who they wanted before. So, like, I think when he found out, like, that it was his son, he was, like, even more... like, I don't want to deal with you.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was kind of just like, and was he like with this, like with Bear's mom when he was engaged to the queen?
I don't
like,
think
so. It was fair.
Oh.
No, because he married the queen when he was going to be king. Like, that's the reason why he married her, was because it was right before they were picking a new king.
But was it like an arranged kind of marriage? Like, was it known? So then that's probably why too, because...
I mean, he was never serious with Bear's mom anyways.
No, and it was always... because it's, like, back in, like, historical times, like, they never did that. Like, if they're going to be king, like, they kept their like, affairs on the hush-hush.
Yes.
And they're like, you're not really royal because your mother was, like, X, Y, or Z.
Yeah. What did you guys think of the North people that came in? Were they ever mentioned before they came in?
What?
Were they ever mentioned before they came in?
Only in terms of them fighting against the people along the border, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
because like they all of a sudden became this huge threat that was like coming in, and I was like, since when were there people from the North? Wasn't it the North?
I think they've always been at war with them.
Okay. I might have missed that.
And then like they got more powerful and then wanted to take over.
Yeah, because they were weak because of their lack of women.
Yeah.
Which that was really interesting too. Like there were so many lines that said like there was a one line in the book or like one paragraph where it was like the men are preferred, like sons are preferred, sons are wanted, and then turns out they were wrong about it. Like it like is actually like the women who like the girls who like are like the most important.
Right. Yeah.
That was
you see what society is like when you can't have female children. Yeah. Well, like in our history, it's always you want the boys.
Yeah, because they carry on the name. Yeah. But really, who does?
You can't have babies without women. So.
Yeah. So I thought it was like a really kind of like nice like undertone of like, female empowerment and everything. And like kind of challenging like the way like people thought back then about women and today.
It was interesting, like her reason for making that curse too.
Mm-hmm.
Like no one can hurt women anymore. Like I've been hurt by men, so you can't have us. I thought that was interesting. Why? Mm-hmm. Instead of just saying, well, like I don't like men, so you're not going to have any more men in the world.
Yeah,
like you can't hurt us anymore.
Yeah, that's like to make them realize.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. I thought this was like very like just like interesting and how like all of that, like how like the women and everything were like interwoven into like being like an integral part, like even when they weren't being born.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah. Well, because every other woman there, because wasn't one of the women brought to the temple? She, the youngest one, wasn't even born there. Like she was one that was stolen, so they kept on stealing women from outside of the clan.
Yeah. Kind of like how Elba was like brought in, like her mom was taken from like the Eastlands, and that's how she was born into like that world, because that was the only way they were getting women were people outside of their land.
Yeah, and that's how Ghost got there too, because she was a slave. Yeah, which is sad because I think Ghost said like from the day she was born she was a slave.
Yeah,
that's all she knew. Which was really sad.
And, like, they were just so mean to her because like she was like
albino.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which I mean is true in history. When they saw albino people, they thought they were like possessed or something.
Yeah.
There's a better word for that. What did they think?
Like they were demons or something?
I don't remember. The big battle at the end. Did you guys feel like that was rushed at all?
I kind of read through it quickly.
Yeah, I mean, like battles that drag on, kind of also.
Yeah,
I just feel like it was like all of a sudden we were there and then it was over, and I was like, "Whoa, what happened?" I don't know. It was kind of harder to follow.
But I kind of liked the fast pace of it because it was kind of just like it'd been building towards it, and they had all these like people. So like,
yeah,
I liked how Ghost was the one that like got to go after.
Yeah,
and like I liked it how like she never revealed like. She never like gave like her name. She was just like, "I'm all these people that you've hurt," and you.
Oh yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, it felt really powerful. I just want her and the uncle to be together.
I know.
Yeah.
Which they admitted they liked each other before Bear left, didn't they?
Yeah, like they mentioned like because he was like, "You have to know," and she was like, "They see that you like don't want me around. Like I'm leaving." And he's like, "No, get back here."
No, I love you.
I can't like be with you because like he was like a man of honor and like he made this like oath to be like celibate.
Yeah,
and so like so torture.
Yeah, I like that. I feel like this was really easy to understand though.
Yeah.
Like I don't read a lot of fantasy because it takes so much of my attention, and I'm like I have to really pay attention to understand what's going on and what's what and what's magic and what's not and all this society rules. But
it was explained really well.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was just the names, all the characters.
Yeah.
And like I feel like the world building like didn't slow down the pace at all. Like it was like integral to like keep it flowing. And like even when like they would get older and like she would like say like, and now he's like gonna be like 1 year and then 1 year, like and like with age like within like one sentence. It was really easy to follow and keep.
Yeah. I thought they would age like at chapter breaks. So, like which they did at the beginning, but then all of a sudden it's like, oh, but then 5 years passed in the next paragraph. Whoa, and then another 2 years passed, and really moving along now.
Yeah, I mean, I like that because I was just waiting for them to grow up.
No, I liked it too, and I thought it was just really like interesting, like how like it didn't feel like rushed or anything. It just felt like very kind of like purposeful for the plot.
Yeah.
I was reading some Goodreads reviews, and someone said they wish that they started when they were older and did flashbacks of them growing up instead of doing the whole from birth until.
I can see that, but like I told you guys before we started, like it reminds me of Cersei by Madeline Miller and how it kind of felt like an origin, like it started like out as an origin story and then progressed onto the plot. And like I just thought that was really interesting because like I feel like those are really hard to get right. And to keep people's interest from like when like you're building it up from like when they're young, because even Cersei starts out when she's like young. Like I think it starts out when she's like first born or created, and like it goes through her life like all the way through the Odyssey and then what happens after the Odyssey. And so like I think it was just really interesting and like because as I was reading, I was like, well, what would happen if like she did start it when they were older? I was like, I feel like it wouldn't have had the same impact like overall. because we got to see like them struggle, and we got to see like other clans and like how it was affecting like every single person essentially.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of Bear's grandpa? Dread.
Oh, I liked
Like
him.
him. He was kind of painted as a villain in the beginning.
Mhm, like with the uncle.
Yeah.
I like it
But I
how,
mean, you get to see him change, you know,
Yeah.
realize his mistakes.
and I feel like Bear like kind of like mended the gap between.
It's kind of a second chance.
Yeah. And there was like one part where like he's like trying like when him and Dread are like talking about like taking Bear to their clan, and he was kind of like he spoke with his father's name like reverence or something, or like
Mhm.
in like admiration or something like that, and like that was something he's never spoken with before, and that kind of like touched the grandpa, and I was like, oh, family bond.
That trial they put him through though.
Oh
They
yeah.
like beat him up. He's like, all right, I survived the trial. They're like, no.
No, you gotta
Beginning.
get tied to a tree and left with the wolves.
Yeah. It's just like little things reminded me of Game of Thrones a little, because that's my only like big fantasy thing I'm a huge fan of. So like with the wolves, it's like, oh, the dire wolves. And, yeah.
Yeah, they weren't actually shapeshifters, right? Like
No.
that diluted out of their bloodline.
Yeah, because that was how they were originated, right? Each of the
Mhm.
clans was one of those. And didn't they say Bear had all of that in him?
Yeah, he defeated all of them. Like he defeated like the lion.
Yes. Oh, he defeated them all. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Yeah.
That's why he was like the most worthy to be king at 7. Like because, and I think they said even like justifying it like boys become men when it's like suited for them or something.
Mm-hmm.
And so like they're like he can learn, and then like well like he stutters so he can't.
Oh,
yeah.
I forgot about that. I loved how he stuttered.
Stuttered.
Yeah, he wasn't perfect.
And it kept him humble, which I really liked. Yeah.
But then it got fixed at the end.
He still did it though. Like not as much. Like it kind of was like he like as he grew up, like it kind of like grew out of him. Kind of like with kids who have some like certain times. Like he still had it because there were some parts where like he was talking to Elba, like when they were like kissing and stuff, that like he like still kind of like stuttered a little, but it wasn't like as bad as it when he was younger.
Yeah, but I think he didn't do it in the epilogue.
Did he not? Did he speak it all in the epilogue? Like any dialogue?
To his uncle. But he like whispered it, so I don't know if that's different.
Yeah, because like whenever like he wouldn't, like when he was talking to the king and stuff, he spoke really like not.
Yeah, he just slowed down a lot. Yeah.
So it could have been that too, or it could have just been like, because he didn't stutter all the time. Even when he was talking to his uncle, and he like when he went after the bear.
Oh yeah, the first.
Kind of like when he was like the most comfortable or something. Like it didn't.
Yeah. It did remind me of "It Ain't Me, Babe" by Tilly Cole.
Oh yeah.
He had his stutter, but he had to like prove that he wasn't dumb like everybody thought he was. With a stutter. I like that book a lot.
That's a really good book.
Amy or Harmon does a good job of having like a damaged hero, like who has something that they're not comfortable with.
Well, this is my first fantasy of hers. Is it your guys?
No, yeah, I didn't read The Bird and the Sword.
I read The Bird and the Sword.
I did not, though I have it.
That one was really good too.
I read.
Yeah, I kind of want to read it now.
It's completely different than like the first Girl Child. Like that one, they're on like 2 different spectrums almost, like just world building and everything. But it's so good. Like her writing is so good, and like I haven't read her historicals, but I have.
It's really, really good.
I do too. Like, and I'm just like, I feel like her writing can just like cross genres so well.
I didn't know this was like, I didn't read the synopsis before even buying it, so I didn't know like what it was about. Just like that girls were not being born and that they had the
birth. I mean, it's a really vague blurb anyway.
Yeah.
Well, because like because I got it and I started reading it like the first day it came, like when it came out and everything like that, and when it started off with the uncle and the like his sister gives birth to a son, I was like, wait, that was like the first Girl Child. Yeah. I was like, okay, well, maybe. And then, but I thought it interesting, and I was like really interested to see how the first girl child would play out.
I thought she would end up having the first actual girl child.
I thought like they were gonna be like she was like the first girl child.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
From like the prologue or
Yeah.
chapter 1, and I was like, is she the first like child? And then like they were older, and then she had a baby. I was like, is this the first girl child? How is this coming into play?
Yeah. And then I didn't expect like that many years to pass before they even had a girl child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was ever since Bear. So it was 25 years until they had a girl child.
That's like
Yeah, like a
Like
true.
those 4 girls that are going to be born after this are all going to be like 12 and be like sold off to have it.
well, Bear's king. He might like do a law or something that says
True. I hope he does because that's what they're going to do. They're going to be out of that.
I mean, it's his daughters anyway.
Yeah.
True. So maybe he will say like, hold up.
That's
I hope so. What have you guys read any other Amy Harmon books other than that?
no, because I like here they make you cry, and you guys know how I feel about crying in books.
Making faces.
I have that one. And the Law of Moses.
So
I
I
don't
read.
know the Law of Moses.
What?
The Law of Moses.
Is it good?
Yeah, I don't remember. Oh, that kind of had like a kind of like speculative, like
Ooh,
Like magical part?
magical.
like magical realism.
Yes. Because
I mean, it sounded like it from the reviews that I saw.
yes. He was found as a baby, so that's why I called him Moses.
Mhm.
And I feel like he like drew these paintings that were actually like premonitions.
Ooh.
I think. If I'm thinking correctly. I don't know. It's been a long time since I read this book.
Yeah, I read the smallest part, but I didn't like it.
I haven't
I
read that
hated those characters. It was a Friends to Lovers, so that's why I wanted to give it a try. Yeah, I like the writing, but the characters were just awful. And it's like the one where the hero, okay, well, it's kind of a love triangle-y thing. There were 3 characters, like 2 girls, and then the hero, they're all best friends. And then like the heroine's girlfriend asked the girl if she was in love with the guy, but she lies and says no. So then those 2 get together and they get married.
Said something.
What?
If she had just said something the whole
Yeah,
time.
exactly. Like I hate that. And then she was just in the background the whole time, until the friend dies. So it's like, would you even have gotten together if, that girl never died?
My best friend in high school read A Different Blue by her, and she like wrote about it. And she actually like lent me a copy of her ebook when we were in high school, and I never got a chance to read it because it was like during finals. But that one's like on my TBR too.
Is that the teacher student one?
I think so.
I haven't read that one.
I'll read it and let you know. I think you'll be comfortable reading that
But
one.
Making Faces is really good. You should read it, even though it's really, really sad.
Is it gonna
It's
make
really what?
It's really sad.
Is it
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
make
that's what I heard.
Yes, I cried at the end, and I don't cry that often in books.
Oh my
So
god, I'm a ball.
you will.
Yeah, you
No,
probably
Well, 'cause
will.
Only
the
like,
whole premise. Do you know the premise of the book?
no, don't tell me.
What
you
if
don't
the guy
know what
gets
it's about?
scarred?
No, I like to go like not knowing.
Okay.
I vaguely know it.
Is it gonna like make me cry like Love Letter to Whiskey? Like or like 1,000 Boy Kisses cry? Because those 2 like broke me. New Moon, is it gonna like 7th grade Sarah?
You cried in New Moon?
I was in 7th grade, Lacey. It was very
Okay.
It's not 1,000 Boy Kisses. I like bawled my eyes out in 1,000.
Oh man, I didn't cry for that one.
You didn't
For you?
cry?
Dude, you guys know I don't cry.
The prom scene, I was just like, oh my
I
god.
know. I mean, it was heartbreaking, but I was just like, aw, no.
I sobbed for like the last 40% of a 1,000 Boy Kisses.
Yes.
I was destroyed from A Love Letter to Whiskey to the point where my cousin called me because she was like driving back from Alabama, back to I think down here or college or whatever. So she was like on like an 8-hour road trip, and she called me like 3 times as I was reading this book, and the third time I was like sobbing my eyes out, and she was like, "What happened to our grandma?" And I'm like, "Nothing. It's a book." She's like, "Don't do that to me." And I still like
I don't think I cried in whiskey.
Oh, I sobbed, but like I'm so like just emotional.
Yeah.
You guys know.
But I didn't cry as much because like for making faces. I mean, I guess it's kind of like Tilly Cole's. You like know it's coming, but you like still can't help crying even though you know it's coming.
It's almost worse for me because I'm like, I'm gonna cry. When is it just gonna happen?
And then you're like, no, it's not actually happening, is it? Oh my god! And then it does, and you're just like even more mad. But yeah.
Now I think it's actually on my desk. I would grab it, but it's under like a stack of books that I'm like trying to figure out what I want to read next.
I haven't cried in too many other books though. Do you guys read Me Before You?
No, I watched the movie. I did not cry in the movie.
Oh, I cried so hard in the book. Oh my gosh. I read it before it was a movie though, so I didn't know that was going to happen. That one I cried a lot in. I did not cry in a single Twilight book, so I don't know what was
I was not okay.
Isn't New Moon the one where he leaves and it's like fall?
Yep.
Her, and I'm like, do something. That was so annoying.
Made me so mad. I was like, because like, okay, I don't like cry too when like I'm sad. Like I cry when I get angry a lot. And I think I was just more angry. But like I was like also in 7th grade, so like hormones were like all like the rage.
She was just being so annoying though.
Yeah, but like
cliff diving and like riding that motorcycle just to see his ghost thing. That was annoying.
I was too young to realize she was being dumb, but I mean, I felt for her.
Yeah, like how old were you when you read it?
Like 13.
Oh, I guess because I was like 4th grade.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still middle school.
Yeah.
The book that I cried the most was Clockwork Princess.
Oh my god.
Dude, I cried 3 times in that one.
That's the 3rd one?
Yep.
That was so stupid. Because I knew what was going to happen because my sister told me because I read it like way after she did.
Did you guys see though that if you pre-order the book in her series about their kids, that you get their wedding night?
Whose kids?
Will and Tessa, like her spin-off, like series, Chain of Gold. That's the title.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
If you pre-order that book, you get an exclusive like their pre-order campaign for it is
a wedding night scene.
Wedding for Will and Tessa.
Oh,
interesting. I mean, I want it. I would read it.
I hope they're not advertising that as YA. Like,
right.
Court of Thorns and Roses.
Wait, Jessica, did you ever get like a box from Entangled? Or no, Source Books? And there was a garter in it?
No.
Yeah, I got one.
No. That's so awkward.
I know. Like Lisa told me about it and then I got it later. But because the book
right there.
Because the heroine owns some lingerie shop. This is the book. And then this is the garter.
What are you gonna do with that? You're not gonna wear it.
For your wedding.
I don't know.
For your wedding, okay?
You have to buy one when you get married.
Yeah, you're saving money.
Yeah, I was shook. I was not expecting this.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Look, like they're just trying to get you ready for your wedding. They're saving money.
I mean, this won't be for like 10 years, but sure.
It'll be something old and
oh, that's true. Something
old. It will be something old.
Yeah, that's it. Someone asked us some questions.
Well, I was gonna ask. So someone asked, any fantasy romances you guys would recommend?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So I just read Promise of Darkness by Beck McMaster. This one is like super loosely based on Hades and Persephone. It's basically just like the kidnapping-ish.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
Promise of what?
Promise of Darkness.
Darkness.
Yeah. But it's about the Fae, about kingdoms. It really reminded me a lot of A Court of Thorns and Roses.
Ooh.
But, more adult.
I'm trying to, because, like, A Court of Thorns and Roses, obviously. But I just read Serpent and Dove by Shelby.
I just ordered that. It's coming tomorrow.
I say that one a lot on Instagram.
Like, it's, like, honestly, like, I haven't read a fantasy book in a really long time just because, like, of my deadlines and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I literally couldn't put it down. Like, it took me about 50 pages to really get into it, but then once I did, I didn't sleep. It was so good. And it's, like, it's YA, but, like, their characters are older, so I would say it's, like, more mature.
I heard the romance is really good.
So good. And, like, I'm, like, desperate for, like, the sequel now, and, like, I'm just, like, dying for it.
Oh, where did this book come from? Like, some people were talking about it, but no one ever said what it was about, and now everybody's raving about it after it came out.
I saw the arc when I worked at the bookstore that I worked at, and I didn't grab it, and now I'm regretting it.
He was, like, raving about it as an arc.
It's so good. Like, I saw someone talk about it on Instagram, and, like, I was like, yeah, like, I'm looking for a book to read. I'm looking for, like, a steamy book, kind of, like, not contemporary right now.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Like, I loved it. Like, she was so, like, the heroine was so sassy, and, like, the hero was so, like, I love him. And his last name is Diggory, which, like, just reminded me of Cedric Diggory.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I love you so much more.
Is it a cliffhanger?
Yes and no. Like, the story arc for book one story arc kind of gets, like, you get resolution and everything like that, but, like, there's an overarching story to it that kind of, like, unfolds, like, as you're reading the book, like, the more you're learning about, like, the heroine's, like, backstory and everything like that. And so, like, the next book, like, comes with that, but it's, like, a duet, so it's not, like, a sprawling.
Wow, it's only 2 books.
Yeah.
Are they going to be annoying, though, and, like, it does really well, so they make it into a longer series?
I mean, the author has said, like, she wants to write more, but I think she said from a different character. Like, still stay in that world, but, like, a different character.
Kind of like what Sarah J. Maas is going to do.
Yeah.
Whenever that happens.
Yeah. And, like, because I think she said, like, Lou and the hero's story ends in, like, book 2, and then she gets
But it'll be like a spin-off.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's so good. I'm trying to think of other ones I read.
Have you read Amanda Boucher?
Yes.
Lacey, I read her sci-fi one. It was okay. I haven't read the...
I heard the fantasy one's really good.
Yeah, I have too.
You didn't read the fantasy one?
No, I haven't.
I did.
Oh, well, tell us about it.
I read them so long ago. Okay. So, I don't know if
it's A Promise of Fire.
Hmm?
Is it called A Promise of Fire?
I think it's like Kingmaker's Chronicles.
Yeah.
Series.
I got all of them.
Me
Yeah,
too. Yeah, I met her at a Polycon.
But I got them after Polycon, so everybody was raving about her at a Polycon.
The first book was, like, one of my favorite books that year, I think. And then the second one was really good, too. I read them, though, like, when they came out. So, like, I think I read the first one back in 2017.
Oh, wow.
So I'm trying to remember everything. But I really liked them. I don't think I ever got to the third one because I have this, like, habitual, like, not finished series complex.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah. But I'm trying to think of other...
I mean, I only really read YA fantasy that has romance, so, like, the Crow Prince series.
Mm-hmm.
Which I still need to read.
Isn't even enough romance for me. Like, everybody's obsessed with the romance in there, and I'm like, there's barely any.
Okay. So I wouldn't call it, like, a fantasy romance. It's more of, like, a gothic fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
But Wicked Saints by Emily A. Duncan is, like, one of my favorite books ever.
It's a romance?
There's a romance in it, and it's really good. And it's, like, it's, like, it's one of my favorite books. Like, I constantly think about it, and I read it, like, last year when I got an arc from, like, the bookstore, and I still think about it. And, like, the arc's out, like, for the sequel right now, and I don't want the bookstore anymore.
Is that
There's
the
no
one
way.
with blood?
Huh?
Is that the one with blood? Like, blood magic?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But, like, there's, like, there's 3 main characters, and there's a romance between 2 of them. And it's just, like, it's just so, like, kind of, like, it's so sweet, but also kind of, like, not. And it's just, like, I love them so much. And, like, things happen at the end where it's, like, how is this still gonna like be a thing? And I'm just like, I want the sequel because I'm in agony. That one's really good. And then, I mean, Laura Thalessa is
I was
like,
gonna say,
Yeah.
what would you consider Pestilence? Is that fantasy?
Yeah.
yeah,
I would call it fantasy.
I would
I
even
would call
call
all
like
of her fantasy romance.
Yeah.
like her Barringer or
Bargainer?
Bargainer. Yeah, Bargainer,
That's
and then
That's fantasy.
what?
Okay. That's definitely fantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then her Fallen World is more like post-apocalyptic romance.
Kay Lindy also has a fantasy series that has romance, and it's like
Is that the affiliate?
Yeah.
I don't
But
know.
is it YA?
It is YA, but like it's like mature. Like she starts out as like a teen. Like I think she's 17 the first book. The last book's coming out in October, and I'm really excited.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
Are they
It's been a
older
while.
than Storm and Fury by Jennifer Armentrout?
I didn't read that one, but I have read the original series.
Didn't you get an arc of that?
Yes, and I sent one to Sarah.
Like,
I'm sorry, but yeah, the original series is like gargoyles.
yes.
So I would say fantasy romance.
I would say that one's like urban fantasy though, or like paranormal.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's true. If it's paranormal.
I'm like looking at like my fantasy shelves right now.
I loved
by Adrienne Young. That one has a really nice like it's another like Viking mythology or Viking inspired fantasy. And there's like enemies to lovers.
What is it?
Sky in the Deep by Adrienne.
Oh, it's not YA.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have that.
It's so good.
Sky in the Deep.
Yeah. Isn't she like a you said gladiator? Kind of? Viking. That's what I meant.
They're like two like they're the guy and the girl like are the heroine and hero from two opposing like kind of like feuding sides.
Isn't her brother there? Isn't it like her brother is on the other side and she thought he died?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I've seen the sequel a lot recently.
It's like a companion. I haven't read it yet, but I have it and it like mocks me. But I haven't read it yet.
Ruby Dixon has one. I think I talked about it before, but Bound to the Battle God, that one's a fantasy romance.
Ooh,
it's kind of a mythology because like the hero is a battle god. That one's really slow burn. Nothing like relationship wise happens until 50%, and it's a really long book too. But I loved it. I love the slow burn. Yeah, it's a big book.
Cover is so
I know, it's bad.
So bad. Yikes.
Yeah.
It's a 4.5 rating.
Yeah, it's really good.
Talk about it.
It's 665 pages.
I told you. It's
200 pages in the Barbarian series.
Yeah, I really like that one. The world building was really good, and I'm really hoping she.
Oh, she falls through a portal.
What?
She falls through a portal into like.
Yeah, so it's like Outlander and Game of Thrones vibes.
Jessica's two favorite things.
Yeah, I have read C.L. Wilson's Winter King. Someone mentioned that, but I didn't love it like everyone else did. It was so slow paced for me.
I've read her series. What is the series? Because Cora Carmack is
a Tyron series. Tyron.
Is that the one where they're like the cat?
Wait, for C.L. Wilson or who?
Hold on, I'm gonna look it up on my.
The cat.
I don't know what I'm saying. Like I can see the colors.
Fading Lands. There's a cat on the screen.
Wilson. Let me look it up because I read that one and I really, really enjoyed that one. I just never got around to reading the other ones. So I got, but it is The Lord of the Fading Lands.
Yeah, the Tyron Soul one.
Yeah, that's a really good book. Like that's really.
Yeah, I've heard really good things about this series.
I really liked that one.
Romance and Roar by Cora Carmack.
Yes.
I haven't read that yet.
I'm like, I have Rage sitting on my desk to be read, and I'm just like, I'm so excited because I love it. I just love that world. And then I'm trying to think, like, I'm looking at all my fantasy shelves right now in my room. And I'm trying to find more because like this is what I read.
Yeah, I read more urban fantasy.
Yeah.
Kristen Callahan. her Darkest London series. That one's like steampunk
That
romance. I love that series.
The Queen's
That's like
Rising.
Spellbound.
Yep.
Okay. What were you gonna say, Sarah?
I said The Queen's Rising by Rebecca Ross is like one of my favorites. It's super slow burn, but it's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Then The Bridge Kingdom by Danielle L. Jensen. She wrote The Songbird, which is kind of like a troll inspired book. The Songbird.
Roll?
This one, it's so good. Like the Stolen Songbird. So good. I read it years ago, but she just came out with a it was an Audible original, The Bridge Kingdom, and that just released in like ebook, I think in August. And so I have that one on my TBR to be read eventually. Because I hear that one's a really good like fantasy romance, and like the romance in it is really good.
Oh, someone recommended it to me on Goodreads.
Read it.
Have you guys finished Throne of Glass series?
Yes.
I haven't even read it.
I read the first book, and the romance annoyed me so much that I didn't continue.
Oh, no. I mean, I've heard weird things about the romance or the love interests.
Listen,
like,
they're
the guy is just like, I like you, so we're gonna be together, and she's just like, okay, and like that's how she ends up with the one guy, and I'm like, that's so stupid.
But Jessica, they're so good. Like,
I'm gonna get better, and then they like introduce some other random guy too that like
and
she
he is the best.
I haven't heard the best, but
I finished Kingdom of Ash back in May, and I was like inconsolable after. I was like, I think I cried in that book too, but they were like happy tears. But I was just like, because like I've read those books since I was in high school, so it just felt like really, I love them.
someone said Faye's Captive by Lily Archer.
Ooh.
Oh, let me
And
look that up.
I really like that cover. So they're
Look
on
at it.
Kindle Unlimited.
Ooh, Ruby Dixon.
Oh,
I love that.
I just saw this book. I need to read it.
Ooh, Faye King Mates. I am very into that.
Lacey's buzzwords are like just going off right now.
Yep.
Oh, and I did decide to do Audible Escape.
Oh yeah, I was wondering because
Yeah.
you kept posting about it. Do
Yes.
you like it?
I do. I've been reading they have like recommendations and categories, and it's annoying though because they have like the first books in series and then don't have the rest.
I know, yeah.
It's like,
Like
but I
the
want to
Devney
read books
Perry
because I got really
series.
annoyed. And so like I've already read through the beginning of the Ice Planet Barbarians, and I have like 5 left, and they're not on Audible Escape.
Mhm.
But I downloaded a couple motorcycle romances that were so boring, and like I had to DNF them, and I hate DNFing books. I DNF 2 in a row, but I'm reading a really good one right now. So
Yeah, I kind of miss it, but at the same time, I haven't been listening to that much
yeah.
audiobooks recently. I just finished Lisa Kleypas, Where Dreams Begin. Loved it.
Is that an old one?
Yeah. And then I'm listening to the Kylie Scott, her new series, the first book. I mean, it's old, but shoot, what is it called?
Is it lit?
Oh,
Like her
Bar?
Oh, the Stage Dive series?
No, her bar one. Twist?
Her spin-off.
30. This one right here.
I haven't read those.
Yeah, I had the arc like back in 2016. It's still marked as currently reading on my Goodreads
Oh my god.
2016. But I'm finally making my way through it. I only ever get audiobooks when they're like the 2 for $3 sales.
Oh, I don't buy audiobooks.
I usually get audiobooks if it's like a deal with like the ebook I buy, or if it's like a fantasy series I'm reading, and like I have them all for Throne of Glass. I have it for the City of Brass. I have it for some from the affiliate series. If like I'm like reading it and like I like want to like keep reading while I'm driving, I'll get one.
That's what I do.
And so, and I like reading romance novels like not on audio, but like I have a few that I want to try just because like I want to like be able to like read more when like I'm like driving and stuff because I really don't have that much time anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But I like to listen to like I like to do it like in tandem, like if I'm like reading a book and I like these are just
Whisper
like,
That's what I do with Black Dagger Brotherhood, and I really like doing that.
Yeah.
Wait, Jessica, do you not have to like be a member for Audible Escape?
Oh, I have a free trial right now, so I have my 3 free month trial of Kindle Unlimited, and then I get a free month trial of Audible Escape, and after that it's $7.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering because I was like, wait, you have to get credits.
But it's not credits; it's just like Kindle Unlimited.
Okay,
like,
yeah,
you
yeah,
don't
like titles.
Yeah, I think so.
They're mostly like not titles.
Oh, I always use Overdrive for all the other stuff I do, so I don't ever like use Audible credits to buy books or like purchase ebooks. Because then I'm like, what if I don't like it, and then like I don't finish it? But I guess it's the same.
You have a year to return Audible audiobooks.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Huh.
I usually listen. What I do, and like if I'm looking for like an audiobook, and like I don't because like I used to have Audible like when I was in college, so like I would always like check to see like who people like were recommending for like narrators and stuff, and then I would like go through to see what they would have.
Because the narrator gets really through with an audiobook.
The first audiobook I listened to was Emmy and Oliver by it's like a YA like contemporary, super like not what I was reading. Like I didn't really read a lot of YA contemporary. I loved it. Like and like I like that's kind of like how I started I got hooked on it originally because like I would listen to it when I would drive like when I was sitting in traffic, which was every single day I left my apartment, or when I was like driving home, like I had like a long drive home, but I loved it, and then I kind of just like went from there. But I do find like I like listening to the fantasy books because then I know how to pronounce all their names.
I don't like that because I like seeing the word and the spelling too.
Well, that's why I read them in tandem. Like that's why like reading the book and like go.
But for Black Dagger Brotherhood, he pronounced them wrong for the first few books because no one told him how to do it right.
Oh.
So
it's kind of like with some of the Sarah J. Maas ones, like because I've heard her like say these characters' names, and sometimes they would say I'm wrong, and so I just laugh.
Or they even say the author's last name wrong.
Yeah.
But
the narrator for Lisa Kleypas said Lisa Kleypas, so I'm like, is that? Yeah. So I'm not sure.
I don't think I've ever heard her say her own name.
Yeah.
But everyone I know says Kleypas.
Did you guys ever listen to the Off Campus, the first 2 books, audiobooks?
Don't.
Those were the worst audiobooks that I've ever listened to in my life.
I thought they were redoing them.
They okay.
I
don't know if they already did. But
narrators.
Yeah, it was some like really raspy, mature woman, voicing both the male and female point of view. So it was just so cringy.
That's why I don't like YA audiobooks because it's always an adult reading it. And I'm like, but you're like 16. You're not 16 who's reading
Although
it.
some like adult books are narrated by really young sounding narrators, like the one for Daisy in the Addicted series. She's a very young, youthful voice, but it fits for her character.
Yeah. Someone did ask for Down Too Deep for J. Daniels if you had to read the series. No. I read 1, 3, and 4.
Oh, God. You didn't read number 2?
No, because I read 1 on my own because I think that was when it was starting. And then I didn't get an arc of 2. And then I got an arc of 3 and an arc of 4.
I think I have the first 2 signed. I won this one.
I have the first.
Are we surprised?
Yeah.
But
no, I don't know. It's hilarious. This one is so funny because the heroine runs over the hero a little bit with her car.
Oh, Jamie's the best.
I haven't read this one. I own this one, but I haven't read this
one.
Yeah. I love the series. Although I will say that Nate and Jenna, the main characters for the 4th book, have shown up throughout the series.
Yes.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of them in book 4. Like, the main character's brother, like the girl, her brother is the one in this one. Her brother's Brian.
Oh. Yes. Oh, I didn't remember that.
Yes. So they, like, talk to them. And they go to, like, the surf shop.
Mm-hmm.
And because book 3 people work at his restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's the owner of the restaurant. But you aren't missing anything if you don't read them, because I didn't read them in order.
No, and they're meant to be like standalones. They're just like an interconnected.
Mm-hmm. They're all friends, basically.
Yeah.
Yes. Do we want to answer that last question before we stop? Someone asked a gateway dark romance book. So dark-ish.
I think someone asked us this on Twitter and we didn't respond, Jessica.
Someone asked?
Yeah, I
missed that.
It was buried, so and I kind of forgot about it until now. I thought about it, but I couldn't remember what I was.
Dark-ish.
A light dark romance.
Would you guys say Corrupt by Penelope
That's
Douglas?
what I was thinking.
Maybe
Nothing
Tilly
like-
Cole, the MC series.
Actually bad happens in Corrupt?
Yeah, no.
No.
It's just the vibes.
Yeah. And I'm like, why are you like going into that situation? But yeah.
Let me see.
It's all voluntary. Like
Nothing
goes blindfolded into some
non-consensual.
catacombs, which I'm like, are you an idiot? But okay.
Yeah.
Go for it.
That sounds fun.
No. Yeah, I would say Penelope Douglas isn't dark.
I'm looking through my dark shelf, and a lot of these are kidnapping ones.
That's dark.
It's super dark.
What about Scarred Souls, Tilly Cole? Raised? Like
It's a really abusive relationship, though.
What?
It's a really abusive relationship that she's in.
Is it?
Yeah, she's like dating a psychopath.
Oh, I don't remember that part.
That's the whole premise. The like guy she's
Block
dating
that
is
out.
psychotic, but like she's the only thing that like calms him down, so that's why she's still dating him. But then like that other guy comes in and she likes him.
Hey, dude, that released 2014, okay?
I read it last year, so that's why
Yeah,
I
I
remember.
read it when it first came out. I do not
It's
remember.
really, I don't
that.
know. Is It Ain't Me, Babe dark?
Then is the MC series less dark?
What's the
Yeah, I don't know. I read that one like 2 years ago, so it's been a while. And I had never read more of the series, even though I need to. Yeah.
I'm going through my list.
Me too. Maybe Raw by Belle Aurora.
I haven't read that one.
Like, he's her stalker, but nothing bad really happens, I don't think.
Oh,
I mean-
but dark romance. Did you guys read Bad Saint by Monica James?
No.
No.
Oh, I really liked it. It's a trilogy, but I only read the first book so far. It's really good. She was
Is it the same couple throughout?
Yeah, he kidnaps her, but and so it's darker. Like, yeah, but
I mean, would you say Violent Delights by Jessica Hawkins? Have you guys read that one?
yes,
No.
It's good. It's really good.
yeah. I don't think that's dark.
Well, she said like she asked for like a darkish romance.
No, yeah, no. I'm saying it's not too dark. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because she's like the daughter of like the Mexican cartel lord.
Ooh, well, not really.
I mean, it's like not that. I mean, I don't know. And then I have a romantic suspense that has like it's not dark, but things happen.
Yeah,
But
Dark Notes by Pam Godwin.
I haven't read that one.
That one's a teacher-student romance, a little dark. She also has another one that is dark-ish. Oh, Dirty Ties. I love that one.
I haven't read anything by her.
I'm looking at my shelf. I'm like,
Yeah, Dirty Ties would be a good one. Dark-ish.
All right. Well, I should go watch that football game and see what the score is now. Even though it's past my bedtime, but I'll stay up for
I'm
football.
so proud of you.
Oh, we should announce our next one.
Oh, yes. So we'll
Yeah.
announce our date. We haven't picked a date yet, but our next book is going to be Raphael, dark romance. By
Yeah.
you guys want a dark romance. I don't know how dark this goes, but the novella was pretty dark. Like,
Tilly says it's like one of her darkest, I'm pretty sure.
so
Like having some dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her dark romances, and I think she said this one was Code Black, which is like the darkest.
So the novella is 120 pages. I don't know if it has to be read before it. I read it, but it like sets up the whole premise of this series. But I haven't read this yet, so I don't know if it's necessary. But I'm excited.
Mm-hmm.
They're murderers.
Yeah. Not good guys. Anti-heroes.
I'm excited to see like who their love interests are going to be.
Oh yeah. Like what kind of heroine would you have to be to love these guys?
It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. But whoever said Faye's Captive, I'm gonna check it out because it sounds good. It also reminds me of Julie Kagawa. So
I downloaded that already for my Kindle Unlimited. All right. Cool. Well, thanks for hanging out.
yeah, thank you guys.
See you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.